Hello everyone, welcome to the Al-Razda channel. So today we're going to tell spoilers for episode 162 in the SwallowedStar series based on the novel story. Remember, this is just a novel version. If there are differences in the story in the series, please understand, guys. Okay, instead of being curious, let's watch the video until it's finished. In the previous episode, Luo Feng was trying to understand the secret of the beast god statue within his internal world. With the help of a golden-horned monster, he carved the statue over and over again, using more than 10,000 chisel blades. Despite failing thousands of times, Luo Feng did not give up. He realized that copying the scales of the small beast god statue gave him a special feeling, as if he were carving the path of the universe. Meanwhile, his human body and Moshe body also worked hard studying large and small statues, trying to capture the presence of the terrifying beast god. Time passed quickly, and after more than a year and 5 million attempts, a breakthrough finally occurred. The golden-horned behemoth monster managed to create a statue that emitted the energy of the laws of the universe, albeit very weakly. This was a sign that Luo Feng's method was successful. He realized that the small beast god statue was a true treasure, while the large statue in the valley was only an imperfect copy. With these two statues, Luo Feng was confident he could improve his understanding. He decided to stay in the valley of the beast god, even if it took tens to hundreds of years. For Luo Feng, time was not an issue, as long as he could continue to learn the secrets of the universe. In addition to studying the beast god statue, Luo Feng also decided to purchase a manual of 10,000 soul control from the Virtual Universe Company. Although the price reached 1.5 million points, he was sure that this manual would help him control the insect race's main nest, a valuable asset in his struggle to protect the Earth. After getting a 70% discount, Luo Feng still had to pay 1.05 million points, leaving 266,060 points in his account. Although he felt burdened, he chose to focus on this manual first, because the potential of a well-controlled hive is enormous. The 10,000 Soul Control Manual is divided into 5 levels, each requiring increasingly high multitasking abilities. Luo Feng, with a mental energy amplitude of 3,200, was confident that he could reach level 3 easily. However, levels 4 and 5 are much more challenging. Even so, he remained enthusiastic and began his training diligently. His human body focused on soul control training, while his Moshe body studied the laws of space. The golden-horned behemoth monster continued to carve and train his sky claws. For 100 years, Luo Feng remained focused on his training, even though, in the midst of his efforts, he was disturbed by the Bei Chu, who tried to take the opportunity to kill him. But Luo Feng managed to overcome it, and he was convinced that every step he took would bring him closer to the power he dreamed of. In the next episode, in the middle of Luo Feng's training, he was still concentrating on his long training. With no sign of imminent completion, his 2 loyal companions, Si Fanqi and Dylan, remained faithful to keeping the surrounding area safe, even though no one knew when Luo Feng's training process would end. Suddenly, a small movement disturbed the calm. Luo Feng began to stretch, then stood up steadily, as if waking up the entire area. After almost 200 years, Luo Feng finally decided to end his intensive training. He thanked those who had accompanied him. Although the time felt short for them, Luo Feng's decision to go to Earth was his most important goal. Si Fanqi had hoped that Luo Feng would stay longer, but the decision was final. Before leaving, Luo Feng stared at the beast god statue, which was the object of his training. The statue gave him an extraordinary insight into the presence of the beast god, something he couldn't get from images or projections. However, there was something else that was more urgent. The insect mother nest on Earth was waiting for him. He realized that the copy of the statue he had made was enough for the time being. Although his understanding was not yet perfect, he had gained many benefits, especially in understanding the laws of space and gold. After saying goodbye to Si Fanqi and the elders of the Golden Horn clan, Luo Feng and his entourage prepared to leave the place. With a single command, they shot into the sky and entered the Yunmo ship, which immediately glided through the atmosphere. From inside the control room, Luo Feng arranged the beast god statue through an external simulator. He realized that the experience in the valley of the beast god statue was far more valuable than the monument of the holy city. For 182 years, he repeatedly copied the sculpture's pattern, strengthening his understanding and technique. Now his strength has increased significantly. Elsewhere, Bei Chu, who had been watching from a distance for a long time, was disappointed. He had prepared various plans to trap Luo Feng, but they all failed because Luo Feng only focused on his training. Without giving him a chance, Luo Feng finished his training and left immediately. A furious Bei Chu sent a secret report through the virtual universe network. However, for Luo Feng, none of that mattered anymore. With a strong determination, he had only one goal: to return to Earth and take control of the hive he had been waiting for so long. In the center of the Milky Way, a blood-red triangular ship shot through the Earth's atmosphere. The ship from the planet Yunmo was immediately disguised so as not to be detected by Earth's outdated technology. From inside the control room, Luo Feng stared at the land below, which was slowly becoming clear. The once vague continent was now filled with cities, highways, and vacant lots that had been preserved since the Grand Nirvana period. When the ship landed, Luo Feng and his entourage, including Dylan, disembarked. The ship also entered Luo Feng's storage bracelet. Luo Feng felt that it had been hundreds of years since he had left Earth. On the other hand, Dylan just smiled, reminding him that thousands of years would feel short for a world master like Luo Feng now. They went straight to Yangzhou City on the Asian continent. Luo Feng's presence was immediately greeted by 3 guards at the World Master level whom he had assigned to guard planet Earth. After saluting, Luo Feng entered his house, which was equipped with an advanced defense system made by Babata. When in the yard, his wife Shu Xin was surprised to see Luo Feng without being told that he was coming home. Luo Feng laughed, even though he was actually coming home for an important reason: the nest of the insect clan he wanted to control. Shu Xin proposed a homecoming ceremony, but Luo Feng refused. The Luo family is now very large, with tens of thousands of members. In fact, one of his relatives, Luo Kedi, has more than 1,000 wives. After meeting his family and old friends, Luo Feng was relieved to see that they were still alive thanks to the resources he provided. His power allowed ordinary people to reach star level. A few days later, he went to Shenrongjia, where a magnificent ancient castle stood. There, the universe-level slave guards greeted him respectfully. Luo Feng praised the Divan for reaching the World Master level. Furthermore, Bai Ka Luo, the former disciple of Nolan Shan, had achieved the realm of a level 9 domain master. Here, Luo Feng had big plans for them as loyal guardians of his family. Meanwhile, inside the castle, Luo Feng found the insect hive, a giant sphere 800 meters in diameter shrouded in toxic fog. Luo Feng concentrated. He entered the hive into Luo Feng's inner world and left a large hole where the insect hive had been. Meanwhile, Daifan and Bai Ka Luo were ordered back to Luo's residence, and Luo Feng and Dylan flew back to Yangzhou. Now, with the queen's nest in his hands and his abilities constantly evolving, Luo Feng was ready to lock himself in and focus on controlling the queen of the insect race's nest. The big journey had just begun, and he had no time to waste. Luo Feng returned to his residence after a long journey and immediately locked himself in his room, ordering that no one disturb him. In the dark room, he sat cross-legged. His consciousness sank into the body of the golden-horned behemoth monster in his inner world. There, a golden-horned behemoth monster stood with a golden black body 600 kilometers long and wings spanning more than 1,000 kilometers. This creature has evolved to World Master Level 6, thanks to the best metal preparation that accelerates its evolution. Although only Level 6, Luo Feng's soul consciousness is equivalent to World Master Level 8 or 9, which makes him far superior to ordinary warrior. Now, Luo Feng faces the most important mission, to enslave the soul of the insect race queen on Earth. In his inner world, Luo Feng stared at the spherical mother hive with a diameter of 800 meters, where the insect race queen slept. The queen, with her crystal-like translucent body and graceful butterfly wings, was an extraordinary creature. However, to master it, Luo Feng had to control the 10,000 orbs of light that were the source of its soul. With full awareness, he released 10,000 soul controls from the golden-horned behemoth monster, forming a blood-colored net that permeated the insect queen's body. When the insect queen awoke, her eyes were filled with power. She tried to fight back, but Luo Feng activated the natural abilities of the golden-horned behemoth monster to strengthen his control. Slowly, the queen's resistance subsided and her gaze turned to calm. Now, she was completely submissive to Luo Feng. Luo Feng's consciousness returned to his body, and he saw the queen emerge from the mother hive with a devoted gaze. "Master," she said gently, and introduced herself as Alina. Luo Feng asked what Alina needed to achieve immortal. Alina explained that she needed to improve her understanding of the law and obtain sufficient resources, especially to produce insect soldiers. Luo Feng was interested and asked what kind of insect army Alina had mastered. Alina smiled gently, explaining that she was proficient in producing 3 types of insect armies, but currently she only had 2 types. Luo Feng was curious and waited for further explanation about the types of insects. Queen Alina had expertise in creating 3 types of insects, each with its own unique advantage. The first type is the armored tiger bug. Part of the Yantan clan, these bugs have incredibly strong defenses, making them formidable warriors on the battlefield. Once they form a faction, it is almost impossible to penetrate their defenses. When they gather in large numbers, they become a very fearsome force. Luo Feng understood that insect races could be categorized based on their abilities, such as scanning, close combat, assassination, and ranged attacks. These tiger-armored insects belong to the fighting type, resembling a heavy cavalry unit ready to charge their opponents at full force. In the surrounding grass, a large insect suddenly appeared, its entire body covered in a thick shell of fiery red, including its sharp oval eyes, reaching a height of more than 30 meters. With large spikes on its chest and sturdy hind legs supporting its heavy body, its figure resembles an armored tank, exuding an aura of extraordinary strength and resilience. Alina explained that the insect was a tiger-armored insect at the peak level of Worldmaster. However, because insect clans rely on numbers to win battles, their size is limited so as not to consume too many resources. Even Queen Alina's own nest has a diameter of more than 800 meters, while the immortal mother insect that Luo Feng had encountered only reached a height of about 10 kilometers. Therefore, insect warriors cannot be too large in order to remain efficient. In addition to the tiger-armored insects, Queen Alina is also capable of creating shadow-type insects known as shadow spear insects. These insects come from the bug Nasi clan, which has unique properties. Unlike the strong and sturdy tiger-armored insects, shadow spear insects control high speed and sharp attacks, but have weaknesses in their defenses. With fast movements like an illusion, they are able to attack with precision before their opponents have time to react. Unfortunately, Alina's shadow spear insect army was wiped out in the Outer Region War. Currently, she only has 11 Worldmaster warriors as her last line of defense. The third type she masters is the mantis hunting insect, one of the strongest insect types of the Te Luo clan. This insect has high speed, extraordinary endurance, and impressive fighting ability. Compared to the shadow spear insect, the hunting mantis insect is more agile and able to nimbly avoid attacks. However, the production cost of one hunting mantis is very high, equivalent to the production of 5 shadow spear insects or 2 tiger-armored insects. When Alina showed off her hunting mantis, Luo Feng was surprised. This insect was 24 meters tall, with a slender body covered in a layer of black armor with green carvings, exuding a terrifying aura. With a pair of sturdy legs, sharp blades in both hands, and fangs lurking in its mouth, the hunting mantis looks like the perfect killing machine. Its protective scales, even more advanced than those of the tiger-armored insect, make it more agile without compromising defense. Queen Alina then explained that she was able to produce large quantities of these 3 types of insects. In addition, low-level insects such as green grasshoppers can be easily produced on a large scale, as almost any number of insects can produce them without difficulty. When Luo Feng asked about the time required for the production of an army of insects, Alina replied that she could start at any time. However, there are two methods that can be used. The first method is mass production, in which star and universe-level insects will be allowed to fight each other until only the strongest survive. This method does produce much stronger warriors, but it is very wasteful in its use of resources. The second method is direct production, which is more efficient in terms of energy and resources, although the results are not as strong as the first method. Luo Feng considered both options seriously. He knew that this decision would affect the strength of the insect army that Luo Feng would build in the future. Luo Feng decided to use the second method, which involved collecting large amounts of bug bodies. The queen explained that there are three pathways for the resources: using universe crystals, searching for large amounts of metal alloy remains, warriors, or huge beast blood, and collecting large amounts of bug bodies. The cost of using the first method is the highest, the second is extremely low, and the third requires certain things. Luo Feng understood that the first method was the simplest and most expensive. To produce one World Master Pinnacle Shadow Spear, one Tiger Armored Bug, and one Hunting Mantis, he would need about 10 Huan Yuan worth of universe crystals. A World Master Pinnacle Tiger Armored Bug would require about 25 Huan Yuan, and a Hunting Mantis would require about 50 Huan Yuan. Creating a King Hunting Mantis would require 5,000 Huan Yuan, which would be enough to be an immortal general's entire wealth. The Mother Nest, a powerful weapon, would cost over 1 million Huan Yuan to create, and controlling it would be a challenge even for non-superpower corps members. Luo Feng's initial investment in the Mother Nest would be worth over 1 million Huan Yuan, and producing large amounts of soldiers would be a bottomless pit. Luo Feng, who wants to create a million-strong World Master army using leftover alloys, blood, and materials, including insect bodies. Babata here also helps calculate the resources needed for the army. However, Luo Feng is still unsure how to go about it due to the large number of methods of purchasing materials and the large volume of materials. Okay guys, that's the spoiler for episode 162 of the SwallowedStar series, and thank you very much for watching until the end. The last word from me, bye.